My name is Christian Basel. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend.
Hang on a second.
What are you doing? Blowing out your Nintendo cartridge?
No, not.
Nobody can see the joke, Christian.
I know nobody can see. It's not a joke. I got this thing in my face here. There we go. Just hit me up. There we go.
No comment.
Welcome to the Legend of the
And now no one can,
Basel.
and no one can hear you now.
Welcome. Really?
Yeah.
You sound like you're a million miles away.
Oh, it did. Hold on.
Melanie's in no mood for these Christmas hijinks.
These hijinks are just insane. Well, no, crazy, so. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. While Christian tries to figure out how to wear a hat, I'm here to welcome you all. And
You mean, is that better?
now you're underwater.
I'm underwater.
Yeah.
Why are you moving off the stream? Because it's been kicking off my microphone. Hang on one second.
Is your microphone here or okay? Anyway, welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I'm sorry if you're picking up any weird sound in the background, because this is the point where the cat has decided that she needs to play with a piece of paper. Wow. Oh my god. So hi everyone.
Santa's watching.
Welcome to our show. It's Best of the Worst. This time around, we are doing Christmas episodes. So it's the absolute worst episode that you can kind of think of. It might be for different reasons. It might be for good reasons, bad reasons. Maybe we'll all agree. Maybe we'll all disagree why it's got its points to being a terrible Christmas episode.
Is that better?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Yay!
We can hear
Explain
you.
the show. Do you want to do intros?
Well,
I just want to agree with Mark there in the comment box. There, see, bah humbug. See?
Ooh, we've got
As soon as
64
I started
comments.
the show, StreamYard decided to conk out all my audio. So I had to actually take out all of this, unplug everything and replug everything back in, the way that StreamYard should work. So everybody, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Welcome and happy holidays. We hope for those of you who celebrated, had a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. Don't forget, if you haven't checked it out, you should. Where's that moniker? Gosh, please. Everything is just backwards. Don't forget to check out our Thanksgiving Day foodie special. It's not just for Thanksgiving, it's for all year round. If you want to try some geek recipes out there. By the way, this thumbnail is done by KEVO RISSE himself of Husbands Talking More or Less. You saw the earlier thumbnail. KEVO does all of our wonderful thumbnails, and this is one of my favorites too, because I love all four.
It's one of my masterpieces.
It is one of your masterpieces.
I love
I
this.
love this. So if you
I
get
love
a chance, our previous episodes, the Thanksgiving Day foodie special, and you get to see all of our team online cooking their favorite recipes, including Dave, who has a little what was it? Russian, what's it called? Russian something.
Was that fish fingers and custard I could see?
I don't
But
recall.
we could think of like that. Wait, I see him. I see him. Yep, there's the cat alert. There it goes.
Meow.
Yeah, Luna decided not to come over here. Sorry.
So let me go ahead and introduce. Let's go ahead and introduce the team real fast. We might have some special guests later on. We're hoping that they'll be showing up because we're going to be going to, or at least I will be going to convention this weekend, this Sunday only, to KrampusCon. Nice. Okay, I'm a lamp, a fireplace. Okay, I don't know where that's gone, but I'm a genie in a bottle there.
I'm just throwing through. Keep talking. Just ignore the chats. I'm just
let me go ahead and bring it up. All of our team. First of all, let me introduce. He hasn't been on a while, so I'm glad he's back. We got the lovely Dr. Freedom himself, Brian Barres. How you doing, Brian?
I get your prescription checked. Who's lovely here? Well, thanks for the compliment anyway.
always, my friend. Well, thanks for coming back over here. This is going to be part of our holiday Christmas special going on out there. And don't forget to check out Brian Barres on Dr. Freedom on his YouTube channel. And you can get to see him sing in his parking lot. Was it Tales from the Parking Lot, right?
Yeah. Been having a lot of fun with that in the morning.
Absolutely. Speaking of having a lot of fun, because my segues are so great, we're going to bring on the lovely KEVO RISSE from Husbands Talking More.
I have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hey, well, no problem. My pleasure. KEVO, how you doing? I love your background. I just noticed it. Sorry.
Thank you. I love this image. I also have behind me, in case I couldn't find something, I have a little festiveness for me, and it's easier to see my hat too without the background. But yeah. Beautiful image, so I'd rather have that up.
I got the memo about the hats, so we're good.
I'm taking it off. I'm not keeping this on all episode. But mine has the Mickey ears because, Disney now.
Oh, okay. Yep. Disney Plus,
Can't really see.
which
That's
will be
awesome.
starting in 2023. So awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking, we've got the lovely Tom Kosak. You better know him as Reverend Omegon on YouTube channel, or the hashtag guru here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. How you doing, Tom?
Well, I did change my YouTube page to hashtag guru without a TARDIS.
Okay. As your microphone says, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I do have a note that I wrote specifically for you, Christian. Do you want me to read it now or later?
Oh, let's do it later. We want to go ahead and get our guests around through there because I believe our guest from the other side of the world is going to be on. Mark Robbins. Oh, there you go. What happened to that chat? He disappeared. Oh, I see a cat. I thought I was late, but I guess Christian couldn't find the start button. Hush! Hush, Candyman. Hush down there. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and bring in the lovely cat lady herself, Melanie D.
Fine. I'll take it. I've got a menagerie here at my house. Hello, everyone. Hello. Sorry, I could not make at the very last minute the foodie episode. I was going to make cannolis, and unfortunately, my refrigerator that morning decided to die a painful death, along with all the food inside while I was at work. So, no cannolis. So I was unfortunately, while everyone was cooking and having fun, I was having the greatest time of my life and tossing away Luna's tail. Luna's head. She missed being on the show last week, so I'm letting her stay in here.
So since you weren't on last week, you're making up for lost time with your cats.
Yep. So here's her tail. You're going to be seeing that a lot. I mean, sorry.
And without further ado, we have a very special guest coming from the No Name Trivia Show, hosted by Lord Joseph himself. And I've been on 2 episodes so far. I'm hoping for a 3rd. But let me introduce you to the lovely Balti. How you doing, Balti? Welcome from the land down under. Thank you.
Well, can I just say, guys, thank you very much for allowing me to be on here. I feel a bit like the Doctor himself because I'm actually going back in time. We're 16 hours in front of you, okay, in New York. So I'm actually going back in time, a bit like the Doctor. And can I just say to all our USA friends from the No Name Trivia Show, Happy Thanksgiving. That's something that we don't celebrate over here in Australia.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, what do you celebrate around the holidays, or is it just Christmas?
Well, we've just started getting into Halloween. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe the last 5 years it's really taken off. We don't say happy holidays. That's one big thing over here in Australia. We do say Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. But no, there's nothing between Halloween and Christmas Day pretty much for us. It's just to go down to the beach and drink a couple of beers, really.
That doesn't sound like
that's
a
what
bad
Australians do.
Is that for Halloween?
Hey, look, there's many zombies in the streets, here in Australia, but I don't think it's from Halloween.
Okay. Well, we want to welcome a lot of folks. Let me just give a quick shout out to Andrew Morris, Ramona, Cody, Mark, of course, the Candyman. Sophie, you're back. Hey, how you doing there? Julie Foster. We got a lot of people in the chat tonight, and they are chatting like. And Dan,
there's a vapor.
Man.
There's another vapor over here, right? I can do that as well. See?
Oh, okay. We try not to vape as much over here, but
I just saw the vapor. He's a vapist.
Down the chimney. Well, they got a lot of chats going there. So, you know what, Melanie? Just without further ado, let's go ahead to commercial break, and then we'll go ahead and get started and tell everybody what's going on.
Okay.
So, you got it. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend. We'll be right back. Wow, I got so many pictures in there.
Let's see how well Christian does this. What's the place bets now? Are you going to see us again in a moment? We'll see.
Yes. Go ahead, Melanie.
Christian?
Yeah.
Are you going to push the button?
Oh, you didn't see the private chat, did you?
No, I didn't. Melanie, can you run commercials when we go to them? Okay.
We'll be right back, folks. Ain't that?
Goodness.
I'll start the first one, then.
Well, yeah, because now I have to find them all.
I'll wait.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who.
That's what happens when Luna steps on my mouse. Sorry.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy holidays and welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basel. We've got Balti, we got Tom, we got Kevo, we got Dr. Freedom, and we've got Melanie, the cat lady, today. Thank you for joining us as we explore the best of the worst Doctor Who Christmas episodes and join into our live chat. As always, you can type in your comments, your choices, and if we like it, we will be putting them on the show. Don't forget, right now, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Of always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. That helps the algorithms. That helps us get our momentum so everybody gets to see what we're doing. Again, my name is Christian Basel. Welcome back. And today, there it is, the wheel. So we will be spinning the wheel. Yes, we have heard about this wheel. So
should I be scared of the wheel?
You should be not scared. You should embrace the wheel. The wheel is a good thing.
Embrace the wheel. Okay.
The wheel of fish.
Essentially, for a long time, if you've ever seen the history of our show, we had the wheel on my computer. The problem is the wheel took up everything. I would run the wheel and then everything would just crap out. So I put the wheel on the phone. So I'm going to go ahead.
Okay, that's fair.
I put it on the phone so that I can spin it, and we will get the first person that comes up. Oh, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking to the lovely KEVO RISSE. He's going to be starting off our episode. Now, remember, these are the best of the worst episodes. These are the episodes that were a little naughtier than the others, ones that we just didn't quite really get along with. And here's our reasons why. And please, again, join in the chat what you think about what we thought about the episodes, what you don't like, what you do like. But KEVO, yeah, you are number one. You are starting us off. What episode?
I am always first.
There you go.
On the wheel, I have not been first. Once. Every time I am first.
See, this is a good thing. It's a good thing that the phone's taken over there. KEVO, what was your selection?
First. Well, I've always said that I really hate the episode in this episode image, which is Dr. Mysterio, because, it's not Christmas, but, I've decided to let that go. I almost said Voyage of the Damned because that was the first Doctor Who episode I ever had to wait for, and it was a huge letdown, but it's also the highest rated episode in Doctor Who history, so who am I to argue? Yeah. My select is the second highest rated episode in all of Doctor Who history, which is The Next Doctor, the 2008 Christmas special.
Ouch.
I have a lot of reasons.
Okay, I
have a lot of reasons.
Okay. We'll hear them out. We'll hear them out. Everybody in the chat, calm down.
I just don't think it's a great episode that comes together very well in the first place. It's a really cool concept. And especially where it went right after the fake regeneration and right before the real generation and the Doctor grappling with, his mortality. That's all really cool. I'm not even mad at how silly it got at times, even. It's really not all of that. I just don't think it was great. But where I actually think it is one of the worst, and I actually genuinely have always felt this episode was a puncture in the growing popularity of Doctor Who. And if you actually look at the timeline of events around this episode, and you track the fact that in May of 2008, Russell T. Davies announces that he's leaving. In June, the Doctor has a fake out regeneration, and people David Tennant leaving, if Russell is leaving. In September, we find out the name of the special is The Next Doctor. In October, because they were going to leak the fact that David was potentially leaving, David announces the fact that he's leaving Doctor Who at the NTAs. And then we find out, like, all of this stuff. And so people were really hyped on this special at the time. They were like, oh my God, is David Morrissey the next Doctor? Are they doing this wild thing? This is so mind-blowing. And so people were really, really, really hyped on watching this. And then we got what we got. And it was kind of silly. And, you know, Jackson is really comedic. And, you know, I was prepared a little bit because I remember the Children in Need preview clip. They showed the opening scene and it's got that sonic screwdriver thing. And I sent the image to you where it's the two men holding their sonics. And you can even see Jackson's holding a regular screwdriver. And I was like, oh, he's not the Doctor. This is going to be bad. This is not going to be what people think it is. And I was really holding on for most of the episode. And then we got to the part with his son, and he was the ugliest kid I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, this is awful. This was really bad. This was a horrible experience. Oh no. Just all around, I really think
everybody's got their fingers over their mouth.
What this episode was such a letdown that I really think it's why Doctor Who's ratings never really reached that again. David's Regeneration didn't reach over 13 million. The 50th anniversary special didn't reach over 13 million. I think there was a building momentum that could have continued growing. And I think what was a really cool concept kind of ultimately probably disappointed people who tuned in hoping for something more exciting.
I'm trying to figure out.
And that's why it's my select.
I just want to say, you think this is when Doctor Who jumped the shark, in other words?
Not jump the shark, because I never think that's really fair, especially for a franchise. These things are always like the Doctor himself regenerating and reinventing themselves. I just think it was a unfortunate publicity event that ended up hurting the show more than helping.
Well, first of all, I got to say this. I would have been okay if he did take over. Truly, I've been okay if he did take over. That
he was great.
He was great, and that would have been nice. It did get hokey at the end, a little bit too much hokey. But that
Miss
was
Hartigan
kind of
screaming.
Yes, it was like, now that you see yourself, what you've become, Miss Hartigan. I didn't know if that was like I was kind of, for a better term, just letting it happen. But there were some really concrete moments, especially between both Davids. And I've got to even say, you know what? I wouldn't have been unhappy if Rosita jumped into the TARDIS as well, because she was just a great companion against David. I mean, the way
Loved
that
her. We had her on the show. Great.
Yes. And to me, she would have been great. If somehow or another David Morrissey ended up being the Doctor, Rosita would have been a great first companion, because he's more of a very passive, very like, he kind of reminds me of the Eighth Doctor, and here's Rosita trying to straighten him out, like, you're a moron, you're an idiot. You know, that scene where they're chasing the cyber, what was it? The Cyber
King, if I remember right.
Yeah.
No. Those
furry things were,
the cyber shades.
The cyber shades. You know, as hokey as that was, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought that was fun, and I thought that actually strengthened both David's characters. You got to see them coming together. What is your take on it, guys? Jump on in. Anybody?
I love David Morrissey as the governor, though, on The Walking Dead when he did that. He was really creepy. He's a really good actor.
Oh, no, he's a good actor. I just didn't like him. I didn't want to see him in an evil role after that. Well, folks, you get the idea of what we're doing here today. But this is continuing our series of the best of the worst. We're talking Christmas episodes, and KEVO had picked The Next Doctor. I thought there were some brilliant moments in there, especially between the Davids. I thought it was a cool idea that the Doctor see a potential regeneration, and I thought that was, for me, I thought that was a cute gimmick. That what if he is? And it did come into the question of the Doctor going, what if I just trip over a rock and that's how I regenerate? And that's, now we see David on top of a hill. So here we are again with David. And,
the one moment I thought was really, really classic, that was the Cybermen marching to the graveyard. That was ominous. That was just so cool, that shot, the way they set it up. I got to give them that.
That is absolutely cool. Mm-hmm. So, here we go. Spinning the wheel, and let's see what we got.
You have to show us. We can't just trust you.
You have to trust me.
Oh, we can trust Christian.
Trust me. I know what I'm doing.
Person, I didn't even question it.
This trust me on where you can hide your role.
Well, we actually have our special guest, Balti. He's going to be taking on the episode. His choice, Balti, from Down Under.
G'day, mate. How's it going?
Thank you. Which episode did you think was best of the worst?
Okay, so first of all, I did think Dr. Mysterio, but because that's a really, really bad episode. But I do understand it's not classed as a Christmas episode. But I did have to go about Twice Upon Time. And the reason why is I'm going to give you two good reasons. One, Peter Capaldi's version of the Doctor, and two, Bill Potts. Unfortunately for me, the Peter Capaldi version of the Doctor just didn't sit right with me. It was too dark. I mean, look, I've got to say that my favorite Doctor is, of course, David Tennant. Loved him, and also Matt Smith. And also, I think the best part of this episode is when he regenerated into Jodie. I didn't.
It's like he's gone! Hooray!
Wow!
Yeah. Woohoo! Look, I know Peter Capaldi did an amazing job as the Doctor, but to me, it just didn't sit right with me. I just didn't like his version of the Doctor. I think they were clutching at straws when they were going through from the writing. As I said, look, I did like the part about Rusty the Daleks and Cybermen are always two of my favorite villains. But as I said, it's just something with the Peter Capaldi version of the Doctor that just doesn't sit well with me.
So it's just Peter's Doctor kind of throws you off, just in general.
Sorry?
Peter's Doctor just throws you off in general.
Yeah, look, I was really looking forward to Peter's version after Matt Smith regenerated. But then watching it for, numerous, weeks, months, it's like, no, it just doesn't interest me, And look, Peter Capaldi is an amazing actor, but I just think it was just, some of the writing from some of the writers that he had to work with.
I've always had that fanfic, and I even wrote about it somewhere, about the current incarnation of the Doctor meeting the first Doctor, and the first Doctor finding out about the Doctor and what the Doctor's been through. And if the first Doctor is going like, wait a minute, this is how I end up. This is nothing I wanted to go into. This is nowhere I wanted to be. And I thought that was a lovely thing. But for me, when it came to that particular episode, it did get a little strange. It got a little hokey. I do love the device of No Man's Land, where he finally convinces his first self to, he should regenerate and move on. And then it convinces himself to go ahead and regenerate and move on. But I thought the device of the room... it was just kind of weird that this android could do almost anything, but, as soon as the Doctor escapes with the wench going down, couldn't stop him from doing that. So, yeah, there was some kind of weirdness going on, but I just love these two, first of all, to get to see the first Doctor again and the 12th Doctor.
That was great.
I thought that was brilliant.
I thought that was great as well, but I think even the first Doctor didn't want to regenerate into Peter Capaldi's version of Doctor.
I get older. What?
What the hell's going on here?
I truly thought that episode should have been just the two of them. No Bill, no Nardole, no nothing. It should have been just the two. and the discussion about whether the Doctor wants to continue on, if they were looking into that. And it should have just been the two of them. And they should have had an adventure together that ends up in no man's land. And it ends up, but I thought the Mark Gatiss being a relative of the Brigadier, I thought that ended it. But there was just like some weirdness. Unlike you, I didn't want Rusty in there. I just wanted the two of them. I needed those two to fight. One of the best episodes I think of Doctor Who is Peter Capaldi trapped in a castle by himself and talking to himself. That's me.
Yeah, I'm just shocked because normally the number one complaint I do hear about this particular episode, everyone always complains about how the first Doctor was portrayed. That's the main complaint I always hear, because they think it was too, they're playing too misogynistic. At least that's what everybody always says. But it's like, they're just picking on that era. It came from the 60s and all that was a totally different universe. And that's what they were trying to do. But a lot of people say that's the number one complaint I always hear. They usually just didn't like the way the first Doctor was portrayed in that episode. So kind of shocking to hear a different point of view on it.
No, look, let me just say again, I think Peter Capaldi, he's an amazing actor. But I think it's just the writing that let it down, or maybe we were too used to, Russell T Davies and, and look, I'm really excited to see, David Tennant come back into the Doctor. I mean, go David Tennant. I mean, I want to interview that guy one day with his father-in-law.
We all do.
But I mean, I've interviewed a couple of doctors already, courtesy of our mutual friend, Simon Fisher Becker. Yes. Lucky enough to do that. But as I said, the writing is just clutching at straws. I don't know if you use that expression up there in the States, but that's what it was to me. Just clutching at straws, just get everything in and just whump it all in and just see how it comes out.
Oh, Melanie, your microphone.
Thank you. Sorry. There was one part of this that I have to admit that I did not like about it. And that was once again seeing Mark Gatiss. I'm like, sir, how many roles are you going to put yourself in this show? I mean, phenomenal actor, amazing writer. It is, I would say, with a big asterisk on the word always, a pleasure to see him on the screen and to see him perform. But how many characters in Doctor Who are you going to be? I mean, come on. I cannot just like, okay, well, he was here and here he is again. And here, I was just like, and here we go again with this nonsense. That was so bad. I mean, again, it's just, that was me being complete fourth wall of going, Gatiss, we do this again.
I know, is Mark Gatiss chameleon?
Again. It's like, I cannot ignore you. Sorry.
That's just like saying Nick Briggs is every Dalek out there. So. Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. I was just kind of I was being, hey. I could just see him with Moffat just sitting here writing. And you know who would be really great for this role? Who? Me. Oh, yes, you're correct. I'm like, how many times did you have that conversation? Sorry.
I feel like I call it the Big Finish gang. They're trying to put their imprint into regular TV because they've done the Big Finish out there. And Andrew Morris has a comment. You don't have to put it up, but I said it should have been the two of them with Susan. I agree with that.
Yes.
That would have been a great episode. Susan should have been like the pinpoint. That Susan. The first Doctor brings in Susan, and Susan sees her grandfather's future, and they go on an adventure that somehow ties in with those two wanting to move on and become one becoming the Doctor, one that is the Doctor, and the story moves on between them. And I thought that would have been a great episode, and it was. I thought it was decent. And full disclosure, I really don't have a bad Doctor Who episode, but I do have one for this episode that we're going to be talking about. And speaking of which, we're going to be going to commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue our discussion. We're going to spin that wheel. Let me go ahead and spin that wheel now, and I will tell you who's going to be up next when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, become part of the legend.
What's up, Internet? Paparazzo Dave Chapman here. And as I'm recording this, it's almost the holiday season. What that means is almost time for me to start decking these halls for our annual holiday review series. This year, as part of our holiday series, we're going to be talking to Jared A. Sorensen, creator of Parsley, If you've ever played Zork, Oregon Trail, any of those old text parser games, that's what this is, but in analog form. And after we talk, some other friends are going to join us on the feed, and we're going to actually play through Kringle Crisis. This is a Parsley game, and we're going to take your command suggestions right from the comments section. So join us December 7th at 4 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Eastern for this live event. Don't forget to head over to our link tree. That's linktr.ee/therathole.ca, where you'll find that video that's coming up, as well as our Christmas giveaway and all the places you can enter that. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Back to the show.
You have more options. You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Volty, this next commercial is actually Lord Joe's favorite. You ready?
Oh, okay. Is this the one I've heard about?
Oh, you don't have to hear about it anymore. Here it is.
Hi, my name is Jamie Engel, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go, a short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered, with stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go. But you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at therightangle.com. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
For all you holiday lovers, that's right, Facebook.com, the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We are going to be doing the 25 days of Christmas, or better known as the 25 days of Whomas. We were going to have clips from Doctor Who. We're going to have movies, photos, everything from the past and the present and the future coming up over here. And if you notice, I don't have the Traveling TARDIS with me. He left.
Went traveling.
He went traveling without me, and I'm very bitter. And because where he is doesn't have Wi-Fi, he refuses to tell me where he's at. But keep an eye out in the first week of December, because he might be making a reappearance, and I'm hoping he brings me back something. So again, Facebook.com, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Let's go ahead and hit our goal of 65,000 followers by the end of this month. Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name's Christian Basel, and without further ado, let's go ahead. Brian, your name came up as being the next item for bids on The Price is Right. What was your selection of the best of the worst Christmas episode?
The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe.
Oh boy, you don't even sugarcoat it. Here we go.
This is this is the Chronicles of Narnia. This is the Chronicles of Narnia on Doctor Who. Yes. And that's basically what it was. I was halfway expecting Mr. Tumnus to appear and be some evil cousin of Azal. Okay, I'm not kidding. Oh gosh, the whole forest scene was ripped off from, oh God, now I can't even say the title right. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And now we've got children hanging around with wood people, and they're not freaking out. They're not scared. I don't know about you, but if there was a guy come at me and he looks like that guy of like Chief Woodenhead from Creepshow 2, I'm running. Okay? Nice. More wooden people. All right. But here's the other thing that really got me about this episode. Mom can't drive a car without hitting something. But now she can, she can pilot an alien robot. She can fly a little orb through the time vortex. And also, how is Daddy going to explain to the Ministry of Defense that his plane just happened to conk out right in front of his house? Or whatever house they were at. I mean, this episode was all over the place. It was just like, sure, you have that heartwarming moment at the end where he gets reunited with the Pawns. But the rest of it, I was like, wow. I can't even describe it. It was like,
yeah.
Oh,
and you know what? That actually was just the cherry
that was the heartwarming moment.
Yeah, that was the heartwarming moment because he realized how important family was, and for this moment, he was going to let his guard down. He had a little tear in his eye. So and it was brilliantly played by the three of them, even though it was just 2 minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes long. It could have been easily what is it? One of those remember when they had like the YouTube episodes? I'm trying to remember, the short episodes.
Mini
TARDIS.
Mini-sodes.
But it was like not Night of the Doctor, but they were called like Time, Space.
The mini-sodes.
Yeah, the mini-sodes. But you remember that would have been a perfect mini-sode. Just cut that out, and that would have been great.
Exactly. That was the best part of the whole thing. Was when he got back, to the very end, because I was like, okay. Wait a minute. We mentioned Androzani. The three miners were there from Androzani. Big whoop. That's all the way back in class here. But no, like I said, while it may be a good story for your younger audience, okay, kids will probably eat it up. I'm sitting there going, so let me get this straight. The kid is weak. The doctor is weak. The guy who's actually time sensitive and can pilot a time vessel can't pilot the magical orb through the time vortex to get home.
Yeah.
But Mom can. Like, where are the Reapers? She just saved the whole crew of people from death, for crying out loud.
Yeah, this is where I think we're leaving sci-fi and moving a little bit too close to fantasy. I thought it was a cute device at the early beginning, but now it got kind of weird where the Doctor jumps off an exploding ship, tries to put on an astronaut outfit, lands on Earth backwards.
Yeah, the backwards helmet. Yeah, I was like, oh, goodness gracious.
I just thought it was weird. Now, here's a bit of... Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kevin. Go for it.
No, Moffat loves big ideas, but doesn't really think about a lot of things. I think about a story where he told his kid about the tree Borgs from Series 5, and his son was like, but the Borg part of Cyborg is the organism. That doesn't make sense. And he told his son to shut up. But it didn't make sense. And a child told you that. The image for this episode with the Doctor and the kid, they say that the kid lives on the 60th floor of his building. That is not the 60th floor of something in New York City. Moffat doesn't care. He doesn't think.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Mums can do anything. Mums, over here in Australia, we have, as a busy mum, all the commercials. So if you're a mother, of course you can do anything you want to do.
Well, it is proven that mother saliva can heal wounds. We know that for a fact.
Nature's iodine. Yeah.
This is one of those things where they kind of just push. They were trying to drill something from another geekdom into Doctor Who, and it got weird. It got very weird for me. Now, if anybody wants a little bit of trivia, Jodie Whittaker's not the first female Doctor. She was actually in this episode. Annabelle Weir, who was in the Big Finish Audio Exile. So technically, she gets that moniker. What's up, Tom? I saw a hand up.
Yep. Just confirming what you said. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you get a chance, listen to that. That one was hilarious.
It was hilarious, and it's the most non-PC episode I can think of. It is just I just remember interviewing Nick Briggs, and I said, "Yeah, you did the first female doctor before Jodie." He goes, I don't want to talk about it because it's not the most PC. But I was like, it was your take. It was that time. That's what it came out to. But the mere fact that you were experimenting and looking into it, and David Tennant plays a Time Lord in Exile.
Yeah,
he's one of the Time Lords chasing it's a third Doctor, right? She's a third Doctor, or at least an alternate third Doctor. So just to give you an idea for that.
Yep.
But without further ado, I went ahead and spun the wheel, which my phone went out for a second there. Tom, you're up.
Oh,
your turn there, sir. And what was the best of the worst episode that you picked?
I chose The Return of Dr. Mysterio.
Ouch. Nope. Whoop. Hang on a sec. There we go.
Oh, the Metallic Eyebrows.
There you go. Tom, why did this one make your naughty list?
Well, I had to watch it again because I couldn't remember. That's all I do. It was, for me, not that bad. Capaldi is my favorite Doctor because my pattern of my Doctor in my stories were just like him before he became the Doctor. The idea of, yes, he's going back to Manhattan to set up a device which either deals with the 11th Doctor or deals with the 10th Doctor, because it doesn't specifically say, was it the Weeping Angels? Was it the Daleks? We don't know. And then all of a sudden, the little boy who's sick is, oh, here's a glass of water. I'm the Doctor. Take this. And he swallows it. Say, okay.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah, I was
it just seemed like, a MacGuffin literally came in the form of a pill.
A MacGuffin. But the idea of they didn't cross the over, bringing superheroes. Yes, I love superheroes. Superman eccentric. The writers' names were listed. The reporter falls in love with the reporter. Name was Lucy. So yes, it was a nice idea, and it's not as bad as I remembered. It was the secondary story that hit me hard at the time. This takes place after the Husbands of River Song, so he's going through the mourning period.
Mm-hmm.
And when Fernando says, yes, her name was River Song. After losing her, that's so a bit personal for me at that point in time. I guess that's why I remember this episode as one I didn't prefer, because of the secondary story. The first one, it's crossing over to comic book superheroes. That's fine by me, but a little too close to my heart for this second part.
You want to hear something funny? When I first saw this episode, I rated it low. Today, I rated it actually high. And I think I was under that prejudice that, oh no, not another superhero movie in the form of Doctor Who, for a better term of that. But there were a lot of things coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to, after I started reviewing it some more, I kind of started liking it because there were a lot of things in here that I think people forgot. That scene where you were talking about, Tom, where Nardole goes over to the Ghost and Lucy and just talks about River Song as Capaldi's walking out. I think it's the first time ever that I appreciated a companion with the Doctor, that I finally saw a companion that worked with Peter Capaldi. Not that Jenna Coleman was bad, not that Bill Potts was bad, nothing of that nature. But that scene where they're in front of the map and Capaldi walks in and there's Nardole coming in and Capaldi and 12 goes, they're going over, they're trying to take over the capital cities, and Nardole just walks in eating, going, no, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I love that scene because now I started seeing how those two, and trust me, after the Husbands of River Song, I was not looking forward for Matt Lucas bringing back Nardole. But when he brought him back really good. And I could start seeing how 12 and Nardole started hitting it off together. Mm. And that scene where he waits until 12 leaves and then tells them the story, I think you started to realize what kind of companion Nardole was. and he knew his place with the Doctor, and they worked out so well together. I thought in this episode, especially when the ship is about to crash into New York and they start going off of each other. I loved how they played with each other. To me, it harkened back to where we're talking about Jamie and the second Doctor and Donna and the 10th Doctor, where it was this buddy relationship. To me, that's what started to evolve when we finally got into Bill's series. My opinion on that, but it actually grew on me as I got later on. It's one of the ones that I actually, when I see it on the DVR, I'll record it again. That's just me.
I think the only saving part of Dr. Mysterio would have to be the zipper heads, number one. From my point of
yeah.
view.
What was that? That went nowhere.
Oh no, but it's just cool. I mean, can you imagine just taking off and?
But it was from Husbands of River Song.
No, the one thing that set me off. Sorry. Yeah, that's what set me off too. Was that that bit at the end where you have one ends up in a unit soldier and it never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was the point of that?
But that's a lot of that's Moffat leaving all these dangling storylines out of nowhere.
It's not like he can really hide out. Come on, so it's like what's he gonna do? Pull off his helmet? Oh, you got a nice crease in your head,
right?
It's gonna be kind of obvious.
As Chibnall kind of keeps staying right here, and Moffat kept going further and further in the rear view. It's like there was a lot of things that I would be completely angry about Chibnall's writing, and this was one of those things of no. I was on that, and many of you were too, of the where's the better, what happened to the writing? What happened to the writing? Because Moffat's a fantastic writer, but it kind of started showing off, especially in this episode for me, that it's a show running and writing, and too many hats, my friend. It's just
too many cooks spoil the broth.
Mm-hmm.
They say.
Well, the same recipe being regurgitated. I mean, Levine went, yeah. These guys went, yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess everybody's
spreading himself too thin. More than anything.
I think this is where you're seeing Moffat just going, I don't know where to go with this anymore.
So we'll just leave it.
I think
I'll just leave it.
Shoot it anyway.
I think Trenzalore was his big shot, and I think that he had to shoot it early when Matt decided to leave, and I think he was at a loss after that.
Well, I'm going to
do say that Matt Lucas, I do think Matt Lucas is an amazing actor, and I mean, I'm not quite sure over there. If you got the series, oh god, what was the series in England that he did?
Little Britain.
Yeah. The only gay in the village. I mean, I think he's an amazing actor, and I don't think that they took as much as where they could have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with one commercial break because I want to bring in Dan from the Dalek Builders of Florida. Better known as Dalek Hal. How you doing, Dan? Just going to do one commercial break because I know you're on a crunch time, and we're going to talk about very shortly about the convention we're going to be at and this weekend, and also your pick. And we'll be returning. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, become part of the legend. Here for our final break. Let's go.
Meet the Doctor.
Oh my goodness. Let's try that again. Meet the Doctor.
Meet the Doctor.
I don't know. It just keeps kicking it back. Oh, wow. Okay. That just went wacky.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
Sweet dreams they placed on me inside my mind. Chance my truth, twist the past, my memories are fading fast. Am I still missed? Who do you want me to be? Am I still missed?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name's Christian Basel. I'm just waiting for Dan to get back into his chair. There we go.
Sorry, I was trying to
Sorry,
make
I was
food.
telling you it's going to be short out there. So, Dan, in the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and bring up your picture and tell me which episode. Yeah, always, Andrew. Tell us which episode you thought was best of the worst.
So for me, mine was already picked. My least favorite episode, because it's so forgettable, was the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. But aside from that, of the ones that weren't picked, I ended up saying, which one did I end up saying? A Christmas Carol. It's not that I dislike any of it. It's just not as memorable, in my opinion, as the others. And in my opinion, it's kind of any show that's out there that does these kind of holiday specials, you kind of expect it to do their own take on the classic stories, which that's fine, whatever, they want to do their own spin on it, but in my opinion, it's been overdone so many times.
Says Melanie says Space Shark. Mr. Freeze and Nora. Oh. There we go. Oh my goodness. Dan, I hate you. It's actually my favorite of the Christmas stories.
That one, like I said, I don't hate it at all.
No, it's fine.
The only one, I don't exactly even hate the ones that I listed to you as my first two choices that were both picked.
Gotcha.
My other one was The Return of Dr. Mysterio. I'm just not a big fan of superhero stuff. So that one, it was kind of iffy. But the other one, The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe, it's just really forgettable for me.
Well, it's also like it's I was talking earlier about the Widow and the Wardrobe. They were taking another geekdom, shoving it into Doctor Who. Mysterio was the same thing. They were taking another geekdom, shoving into Doctor Who and making it work, which is that's a risky take.
Yeah.
But it can also
with Mysterio, I'm sorry. If you're standing on a building, kissing a lady, okay, and holding this ship up, I mean, hello. I mean, you don't have to be an intelligent person to say, well, first of all, put the lady down, get rid of, chuck the ship into the sun, okay, then come back down and get her. But, I mean, look, that's just me.
Well,
I would do it for Justin Chatwin.
It's it's a Moffat joke. He's don't slap me, I'm holding a bomb. Just like that's typical Moffat humor down there.
Yeah.
Okay. We got something going on with the football match. Cool.
Yeah, I had to agree with you on the holiday theme stuff, though. I was like, what's going to be next? Frosty the Ice Warrior? It's like, sheesh.
I kind of like the idea that it was a bit wacky. They did take the Ebenezer Scrooge thing and made it into this is another thing that they were trying to take. They took Charles Dickens and tried to shove it into Doctor Who and make it a story. For me, it worked. And I know there's certain things, especially at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the one thing that throws the entire thing off. It's the best moment of Doctor Who for me, and the worst moment of Doctor Who for me is the scene where he's introducing the Christmas future moment. And he's going, I'm showing you your future. I'm showing you right now. I thought that was a very cool moment. The three of them playing off of each other. The problem is the continuity. If the kid saw what he was going to end up being, he could have stopped this from the very beginning. What the heck?
Wibbly wobbly, Christmassy, Westmassy.
Exactly. So you have to accept that moment on its laurels, for a better term. But it's one of my favorite, of all the Christmas episode, Hand Over Heart. That's the one I loved going to because it does have a Christmas story. It does have I think it has the best of the most wackiest things that Doctor Who has. It still stays in the sci-fi realm. It has the campness that, is in Doctor Who. And, beautiful. I can't think of the singer's name. Beautiful music from her.
Catherine Jenkins.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Catherine Jenkins with her musical rendition for the episode. You had Michael Michael Gambon, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Playing Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm just like, this was brilliant, but it's one of my guilty pleasures when it comes to Doctor Who. This is one I'm overlooking the continuity because I just think it's a fun episode, and it has its very great moments where it tugs on the heartstring. When Moffat has gotten all of his stuff right, can tug on the heartstring, still be a sci-fi, still be can't be Doctor Who, and still be a fun ride at the very end. And I think the very end, when he's riding on his shark with his girlfriend, we didn't need an answer to that. I was like, how does this end? How's this? Maybe this is the way it's supposed to. We just don't know. You make up how this is going to end. But that's just me.
No, the down thing for me was, well, Merry Christmas. You're going to be dead in 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, but I get it. It was supposed to be their one night together. And, that
we all faced the Raven.
And we all faced
Plus, the Doctor might have married Marilyn Monroe. He doesn't remember her. Remember that scene where they were in the 50s or 60s?
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, everybody else
Somebody
married
named
Marilyn Monroe. The Doctor might as well.
Exactly. Well, we have come to the end of our episode, folks. So we're going to be going to the after party. We're going to bring in Mr. Jake Estrada, who runs Krampus Con. Let me go ahead and go over the chats. Thank you. Yet it is from Twitch. One line that always sticks in my brain: 900 years of time and space. I never met a person who wasn't important before. Yeah, that is. Right. I'm glad, Melanie, you brought that up, because I just want to let people know, as we did on our last episode, Quoth of Raven, Nevermore, Death hath not the chore. This time of year can be a lot stressful, and we lost an important person in the geekdom just recently, Jason David Franks. So we want to let people know, if you feel that there's somebody out there, especially here in the States, to talk to. 800-273-TALK or 800-273-8255. You can also text 988. If you need somebody, this can be a stressful time. So if you need to reach out, even if you don't use this, please contact somebody, a family member, a friend. Just as the song goes, please get off that ledge, my friend. Let's talk it out. Let somebody know. Don't be, don't dwell into that moment. Just get out of there and find a friend, find a family member, because it's not worth it. You should be around for many Christmases to come, and many of these episodes that we'll be having in the future.
And just on that, can I just say, there's lots of people that are lonely at Christmas as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you do know somebody that, is lonely, that's, doesn't have family or friends around them, invite them into your life, because the amazing thing is that with stories that you can hear from somebody else's life, you may get something out of it as well. So all I say is, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in the US or the UK, Christmas is the time to actually sit there and love your human being, love your fellow man. And that's all I would just ask for everybody. Be nice to everybody, be kind to everybody, and just have fun, and and just love the time that we're actually living in.
You don't know what that person's going through. You don't know where
That's
they've
right.
been, and you just want to, before you say something that might be off-putting, make sure you know who you're talking to, and make sure that they're clear about it. Eleni says online friends can be their weight in gold as well. Don't discount where you find your friendships, and I would even include your family at that point. Balti, we got to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much. Tell us about the No Name Trivia Show, and where can people find it?
Well, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Sydney time, which is, I think, around about 5 a.m. New York time, I think, is and 3 a.m. LA time, 11 a.m. in UK. Myself and another friend of the show, which is Simon Fisher Becker, and also Lord Joseph, with the potty. That's a great. I'm gonna have to try and get one of them just for Lord Joe. So we sit there and we actually interview people. We play trivia. So you can find us on Facebook. Okay, rehearsals. That's right. Yes. You can find us on Facebook, and as again, it's called the No Name Trivia Show. We'd love to see you there. We've got a big Christmas episode on the 19th of December with lots of people all throughout the world. So Hope to see you there. And Christian, thank you very much for inviting me here. And to everybody in the US, I'll say in your way, happy holidays. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. And, until next time, Bolty out. See you guys.
And Joseph, you can do me a favor, Lord Joseph, put the link in the chat where people can look for the No Name Trivia Show. Thank you so much, Balti, for coming on. We appreciate that.
Cheers,
Take care of
guys.
yourself. And just in case we don't see you for a while, happy holidays. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And again, to everybody, have a wonderful, safe time. And we'll see you back again next year. See you guys. Love you. Balti out.
Love you.
See you.
And without further ado, let's go ahead into the after party, and we're going to be bringing in Jake Estrada, the head of KrampusCon. He's going to be telling us a little bit about it, and our parents, Dan and I, will be out there this weekend. We'll be right back in just a moment. Here we go to the after party. Oh, God, put him away. Get him away from me. There he is, Mr. Jake Estrada. How you doing there, Jake? Well,
good. Yourself?
Not bad there, sir. Mr. Jake Estrada, if you've been on the Space Coast over here in Florida, he runs Space Coast Comic-Con. I'm glad they made a comeback, and you've got a second convention coming up, and I'm just going to bring Dan over just in case I need a point. There you go. Dan and I are going to be at KrampusCon. You know what? I'm going to give you the floor, Mr. Estrada. Take it away and tell us a little bit about KrampusCon. I'm going to bring on Dan in just a moment to explain Dalek Hal for maybe people who aren't familiar with Dalek Hal.
Hey everybody, Jake here. So we're having KrampusCon this weekend on December 3rd and 4th. It's going to be in the Merritt Square Mall. It's going to be a free event, so you can come out, you can attend. We're going to have, hopefully we're going to have a little bit of wrestlers out there. We're going to have some singing going on the next 2 days during the event. There might be an appearance on Sunday for the Brothers of Alien Rock, I heard. So we're working it, for a little while here, I thought it was dead, because originally we had planned to have it at International Palms Resort. It was going to be this other type of event, and they decided to blow the hotel up or whatever, and I was like, what? So I scrambled, and we ended up making a great contact with the mall, and we had a Merritt Square Mall Con where Dan was there. Everybody had a great time last month. So, and then they talked to me about it, like, hey, why don't you have KrampusCon here? And I was like, okay. So KrampusCon, it's about the naughty horn guy that likes spanking children and dragging them into hell.
Well, you're selling this up for the kids that are coming out.
This may not be for the kids. This may be for you, Christian.
Oh,
I might drag you.
What else is new? Dan, I know you're on a time crunch, so tell us about it's going to be December 3rd through the 4th. Yeah. Now, I won't be out there until Sunday, and unfortunately, I won't be out there with the Traveling TARDIS, but I will be there to help geek out with the Whovians for the festive holiday. But Dan, tell us a little bit about your appearance out there at KrampusCon and Dalek Hal. Is Ren going to be there, or is it just Hal?
No, it's going to be Hal and Ren. Unfortunately, to those who haven't seen on Hal's Facebook, both of their Facebook, Hal is currently going to be mostly out of commission. People who went to Merritt Square Mall Con already saw that. I only had the bottom half driving around. The top half actually got some cracks when I went to a trunk or treat event. So I had to completely take off the top half. The dome has a big crack in it now too. We're working on getting that fixed and should be back in action sometime early next year. Working on the brand new shoulder section and then the repairs for the dome. But both Hal and Ren, well, the bottom half of Hal and Ren are going to be at KrampusCon. And I am going to be there on Saturday as well as Sunday. So you can look for us there, and then Sunday Christian will be joining in. I'll probably drive Hal around. I'm gonna try and get Ren at least so that I can foot pedal him around, but we'll see how that goes.
I'm thinking, hey Dan, Santa Davros. Santa Davros.
Get a bunch of the tinsel and the
That's right.
The leaf.
You see what I'm going with this? I'll bring the hat for you if you need.
He's making a list. He's checking it twice. Gonna rearrange your DNA once or twice.
Exactly. We're still a sci-fi show. So Danielle, nice.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
This is the picture we're picking.
Gene Simmons? What?
Nice. Okay. So I've just got a question. You've done Space Coast Comic Con, and it's making a comeback. But Jake, why KrampusCon? Why this particular figure in Christmas? Because I know you're a horror geek.
I was a kid, and when I lived out in Philly, they had the old John Wanamaker building. So they used to have like the Christmas display, the lights come on and all that stuff. And then they had Christmas around the world one time. And this was like in the early 80s. So I'm walking through the Christmas display, and right at the end, they had Krampus right up there. This horn dude, and I was like, that's the guy I want to support for Christmas. And I remember my mom was like, that demon, get out of here. And I was like, no, I love this guy. I remember she just dragged me out of there. And I went to my local library and read about Krampus. And I was like, man, I was hooked. I must have been about like 4 or 5 years old. I remember reading books. My mom, you're not reading that garbage. My mom would continuously and she talks about this to this day too. She's like, I always remember you like that guy. And now you're having a convention with that guy. And I'm like, hey, I love what I love, Mom.
It's funny because my parents had the complete opposite take. I remember when we were still living in Germany, then they were actually telling us about Krampus. And if I remember correctly, it's the same one where you get to like leave candy in your shoe or something like that.
Okay, we lost the host and we regained Melanie somehow. What is that, a regeneration?
He just disappeared, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I'm here trying to this is what I've been. Yep, he's just disappearing. I don't know if he put something in the private chat of okay, he says something's going on with Summer. Okay, anyway, I'm sitting here kind of scrolling through stuff, but the reason I was scrolling is I want to share my screen because I had to make sure that I was finding the correct window. Give me just 1 second. And I'm sharing now. Let's make sure am I on the right one? Merritt Square Mall?
Yeah, that's it.
So if you go to KrampusCon, KrampusKon.com for those, if you're wherever you're listening to, that is the website you want to go to, so that way you can see everything that's ready and in store, awaiting for you.
Yeah, and I will be updating more of that as we speak tonight. Anyway, so I got a lot more stuff going on there, and I've just been running around, running ragged. We're also we're going to have a Krampus room where people can come in and they can take pictures with Krampus. We've been setting that up. I'm being running to the mall, setting up a room, and we're doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so. We're trying to build something fun and something a little wild and a little, I don't know, because amazingly inside the mall, there's Santa's going to be there at Macy's, and right around the corner is going to be our little Krampus section. So I was like, and we're going to put up a little sign out there, naughty, go this way.
Are you still looking for vendors? Are you still looking for anything else?
I mean, if you want to come out, dress up as a naughty Santa, we're going to have a naughty, I'm pushing for a naughty Santa contest and a Krampus contest, the best Krampus outfit. And then we're going to have a normal cosplay contest too.
Okay.
We're having a lot of different things going on there because in the end, this is still a Comic-Con type of event for all geekdom and all nerddom that, whatever you like, we bring it all together, because we're trying to stay strong here in Brevard County and have fun, especially during the holiday season. And the vendors were all sold out. There's no more space for vendors. So
no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So there's going to be plenty for everybody to go down there and see, do a little Christmas shopping beforehand, maybe pick up some stuff for yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely, everybody. I mean, the mall is still, there's still stores in the mall, people. I know that's a myth out there. Malls are going away.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I am going to have to head out because I am off my lunch break now. But thank you for having me. See y'all at the convention on this weekend.
Take care, buddy. See you later.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay. And Christian's talking, but he's not.
But we're not hearing anything. Yeah.
Not hearing anything, which is nice sometimes. But you know,
You need a hush.
I can't. It's too much fun.
I'm sorry, Melanie. Thank you for covering for me. I heard a loud whimper from the living room. Wanted to make sure Summer was okay. It was really, really distinctly loud. I don't know if she was just a little depressed or if she hurt herself. So I wanted to make sure she was.
There is a Macy's.
Yeah, Macy's is still around in some areas. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Macy's, and actually right in front of that Macy's, like I said, they're going to have a Santa sit on Santa's lap and picture event and everything like that. And we're putting up a poll right there, naughty or nice, and we're pointing towards us. So,
who do we got guest wise? You may have caught that, but I was like, who we got guest wise coming out there?
We got quite a few people, and I got to, like I said, I got to update this more. I'm going to be working on it later tonight, but we have Athena Finger coming out. We have Jonathan Hedrick coming out from Scout Comics. We have Mark Maddox, who's done Spooky Magazine or different horror magazines. I got Tom Ryan, who's been nominated, who's won prizes for his horror film and his comics. I have Anthony Fiala, who's a local hero. I always call him. He does his own little Fat Man comics. We have a lot of different people. We have local cosplayers. We have Francisca Fantini, who does she's done stuff for Image Comics and various other publishers. We have this guy called the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS coming out.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. We got local vendors. We got 9.9 Comics. We got Infinite Mushroom. We have our friends from Necronomicon. They're going to have a table there just to be promoting the upcoming show. Yeah. So we have a variety of people coming out supporting and local vendors that create like scary type of like soap and so we got a nice amount of people coming out. You know, we got a guy, Josh Draws. He does cards for Upper Deck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So and like I said, we got Mike Fern, or also Mike Hook, whose brother Alien Rock, coming out on Sunday. He's gonna hopefully, he did tell me he was playing on stage. And then we got Atomic Wrestling, Atomic Revolutionary Wrestlers coming out, and they're going to do a little demo run, like an hour-long demo run that's going to tie into their main event for Reindeer Games, which is going to be showing on Fight TV. And that hour segment at right around 3 p.m. they're going to do on Saturday will be happening live over Fight TV as well too. So we got a lot of stuff happening, and a lot of fun things happening. I'm just trying to, and it's all free. You know, you guys come out. You know, you can come and go whenever you want, and it's free. You know, and it's going to be an awesome event.
So yeah, I'm just showing the map a little bit just to show our viewers that if you are in the Orlando area, you are not, or even just anywhere along on the east coast of Florida, so Orlando, anywhere from Daytona. If you feel like driving up from, make a day trip of it. From if you're coming up from West Palm or Miami, you're just heading right towards Cocoa Beach. Probably going to be a beautiful day. I mean, let's face it, it's Florida. You never know if it's going to be cold or warm or whatever.
Yep, you never know. The weather here is unpredictable. Mm-hmm. It's a little schizo. But if you're in Orlando, you jump on 528, then you get off of 520. It's a straight drive down, everybody. So don't miss out. And then if you're up, you know, like she was saying, you're a little further north, take 95 down, cut it right across, come down, because after that you hit the mall, you chill at the mall, then you can go to Cocoa Beach, go to Ron John's. Exactly. You know, there's all kinds of stuff around there. But make sure you stop and see us.
Exactly. It's not exact. That's the one thing I really wanted to show where it is in relation, because I know some people, if you're not used to being in your own like little footprint of where you're at, you go, oh, that's not that far of a drive, especially in that area. You have so many main roads that can get you right there. You're not like kind of going a little off the beaten path. You're really not. It's an easy drive. So if you're not doing anything on in December, that weekend, get out there and go have fun.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's this weekend, the 3rd and the 4th. Dalek Hal and Ren with Daniel is going to be out there this weekend, and I'll be making an appearance on the 4th. Unfortunately, with one less traveling TARDIS. Hopefully, I get him back next week. But he did his thing, so hopefully he'll be coming back. And in the chat, you can see the event feature where you can click and get more information about the times and locations for KrampusCon. This is going to be very exciting. So we're going to have a festive, grand time. What is your pinnacle moment thing that you want happening here at KrampusCon? Are you going? It's Bocus 2, or besides me,
No,
what is
below you.
Oh, will you be whipping people?
Hey, if you've been naughty, I'll be dragging you myself.
Hey, Juice Bird Media, thank you. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS today. Again, the event for KrampusCon is in the chat, so you can just pull it up. Acknowledge that you're going to be there if you are in the Space Coast area. If you're anywhere in Florida, if you just haven't be able to come out here, please come out. Again, I'll be out Sunday. The Daleks of Orokos. I think that's what Dan calls them. The Daleks of Orokos will be making their appearance all weekend. So we'll be representing Doctor Who out there all weekend. Woo-hoo! And I don't know, Bocus, you might have a special appearance from somebody.
Oh, that means I'm gonna have to trim out my beard.
No. You don't have to trim
it this guy?
Put on my leather coat.
No, not Krampus.
I'm gonna have to beat you up, Christian. That's what you're trying to say?
No, but I hinted to Jake.
I'm like 7 feet tall. I can lift you up.
Guys.
Oh, I like that.
We just went up to a PG rating. That would be awesome to see Krampus be in Doctor Who as a. You know what? When people say, they run out of stories for Doctor Who for Christmas, I'm going to say no.
Nope.
There's tons of Krampus could be.
That would be amazing.
Krampus would be a great character to put in there for a Christmas episode. Bless you.
Bless you.
I bless you.
So, what are the dates for Space Coast Comic Con? Or has that been announced as yet for 2023?
June 10th and 11th, I believe. Let me look at the calendar myself.
Okay.
Make sure I'm correct. That could be all by day. I'm not. Yeah, the 10th and 11th.
The 10th and 11th. And is it in the same area, or have you picked a location as of yet?
We're moving back to the original location right there in the Coco Convention Space Center. Space Coast Convention Center.
So where it was last year?
No, not last year. Where
the last time?
Where it's been the last few years prior to this previous year that we had it over in Vieira. It's going to be in Coco West out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's when I traveled out there before all the years that never were.
Yeah, last year there was a timing issue and there was no space, and we were able to just do the 1 year. But this year, coming 2023, we're back to 2 days, and
fantastic.
Yeah, so we have that coming, and then David and I have a bunch of other events that we're going to be putting on pretty soon too. So we're going to be ramping up. We're like we lost all that time. We got to do stuff.
Are you planning on doing like virtual events, or is this strictly you want to keep it on location? You want to do some locale?
We're going to keep on doing stuff on location, man. Doing straight up, meet and greets and all kinds of stuff. Just having fun. I'm tired of Space Coast being kind of boring sometimes. I just want to have fun. I just want to be out there, either doing conventions or filming movies or whatever I can, man, just to keep it going, because I'm not getting younger, so got to keep on going.
If they got away with Horns of Nymon, they can get away with anything. Okay, fine. You have to bring that back in. The Beast. Oh yeah, the Beast from the Impossible Planet and the Beast Below.
They flat out said it was Satan because it was the Satan.
It was
pit.
Satan.
Could be both.
So
it could be everything. That's true. It could be both.
Okay. You really like this.
Yeah. You know how many pictures have been downloading? So I'm like, oh, I know Krampus. Do a Krampus walk. I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go. And we got another cat alert. Now I'll leave the cat alert alone.
Leave the cat alert alone. Because Luna and Dr. Freedom have both been. I've noticed two different cats with Dr. Freedom. The black and white one, which I cannot remember the name of. Luna.
Oh, that's Oreo.
Oreo. Okay.
And the other one's Sophie. Yeah.
Well, there was a couple things I want to mention before we wrap up. First of all, for people who've been asking about Melina, I just want to let you know she's okay. Puerto Rico got some major damage from the hurricanes and the storms that approach out there, and she's had some life-changing things going on. So unfortunately, she's had to step down from her role being full-time here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. She's going to try. She's going to try to do things if we do events or things on the weekends. She's going to try to pop in every now and then. But she had, because of the storms, there have been a lot of life-changing things that have gone on with Melina. We want her and her family to be okay, to get what she needs to do, and when everything is settled and she's back up to speed, hopefully she'll be returning to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. So all our love and support is with Melina out there in Puerto Rico, and hope she's doing okay. For a while, I was just knowing how she was doing on Twitter. That was that's how I was finding out on when she would update Twitter. That's when I knew what was going on out here. And plus, I've been trying for days now, and it just doesn't come up. And I really wanted to give him a tribute, but it's been 2 years since we lost our good friend J.R. Hibbard, and I tried to do it for Thanksgiving. And
Doctor cosplayer.
Our fourth Doctor cosplayer, and if you see the TARDIS in the middle, that's him in there, right next to my traveling TARDIS.
He's in a cookie jar. Or he's in a TARDIS, but it was I think it was a talking cookie jar. The family had purchased, because he was larger than life.
Yes.
They purchased I think 3 cookie jars, I think, and that they have the button on the bottom where if you open it, it makes the whooshing sound. So he's actually he's in each one. They separated his cremains into each one. They sealed it, and I was like, well, that's a fantastic idea. So. So it's bigger on the inside.
Absolutely. And we do have a special album just for JR and all the cosplays, and he was very well welcome. If you ever had the chance to meet the guy, you would know what we were talking about. And the first days that we went back to convention and he wasn't around, that was just, Melanie and I were talking about the first time we went back to Central Florida Comic-Con. We were like, we're waiting.
I was waiting for my jelly baby.
Yeah, we were waiting for our jelly babies.
You put the jelly babies in a brown paper bag.
He was going to step around the corner, and he just didn't show. And I think that's when we finally knew it. But JR, we love you. 2 years later, man, we miss you. And I hope everybody at least gets to see the album that we created for him in memory of JR, because he was just a sweet man and was just taken from us way too soon. And never be another one like it. But we miss you, JR. So, on that ending, thank you all for joining us. Again, please stay safe out there. If you need help, I'll just bring up the line one more time, and I'll put it in the chats if you want to. Again, 988. It's for the texting, or 1-800-273-TALK. If you need to talk to somebody, please do it. Get some help. Let somebody know. Let a friend know. Anybody, please. It's not worth it. Your life is important.
And you can call that just to chat with somebody.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you don't have to be on the brink. You can actually use this service just to chat with someone. If you're just feeling crushing loneliness or whatnot, call the number. That's one thing that's magical about all these amazing services that are out there for people, that a lot of people don't think, I don't need to use it. I'd rather it be for somebody else. That's not how it works.
Yep.
Use it. The more you
don't even let it get to the brink.
The more, don't even get to the brink, but the more you use it, you're not taking away from someone else. You're now showing the data to that this program's working, and that they'll get more funding, and that you can help more people. So please don't. Even if it's not even just this, any type of program that's out there, don't ever think like, oh well, I shouldn't need it. Use it. That's how those places get more funding, get more people, and get more help. So
don't wait until it gets bad. Once you start feeling that anxiety, that stress, talk to somebody. Even if it's not this, please talk to a friend, talk to a family member. Just talk to somebody, because we want you around for as long as you can be on this planet, because we want you to be part of the legend as always out there. So I will put this in the chat a bit later after the show, but please, it's there for you if you need to. Everybody, we're going to be saying good night. Anybody have any last words before we close up for the night?
Well, Robin Williams once said, "Every person you meet is fighting a battle that you know nothing about."
Exactly.
So always when you see people, try to be kind, brighten their day in some way. Even a smile will help. I've found that out, unfortunately, too late in my life. But yeah, smiling and being kind can really go a long, long way, especially this time of the year.
And especially on social media. This can be the most dangerous weapon of them all. Before you push that send button or that enter button or whatever button that you're going to be sending, is this productive? Is this a positive thing? Is this going to make anybody's day? Or, do you really need to do this? Do you really need to step into this pit? So from all of us here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, we want to wish you a happy holidays. We'll see you next week. For those of you going to be over at KrampusCon, we'll see you this weekend with Dalek Ren and Dalek Hal. And from the team over here, again, happy holidays. Thank you for joining us. Mark Robinson for you. Oh, for those in the UK, there you go.
Samaritans.org or 116-123 if you just need to talk.
If you just need to talk. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And again, we'll see you next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to say goodbye in the chats and become part of the legend. Tony, let's go.